I can have a reaction like that after I'm finished, then I'll know I really did something. Thank you, Principal Thomas, Vice Principals Mr. P and Miss T, Superintendent Sheets, thank you for all those snow days. Board members, distinguished guests, undistinguished guests, you know who you are. Honored faculty, and that one balding but incredibly eligible math teacher. Class of 2010. So how about that right in? I guess that's why they call it high school. That's right. We've been at high school for 1,371 days, but you're not graduating until I'm finished. So listen up, as I reminisce on the glorious days of high school and impart wisdom upon your souls. Let's take a second and go back to the freshman year. Back when NSYNC and the Backstreet Boys were the greatest bands of all time. That was serious. Maybe I was the one that still listens then. Back to when your mom had to pick you up from those unbelievably sweet dance parties. Well, my mom still had to anyway. That first awkward homecoming, so priceless. Change was everywhere around us. From the high school that seemed so massive to the transformations that shape our teenage years. I'm still hoping that my voice will eventually stop cracking, but I don't know if that'll ever happen. Back to when we all thought we had swagger, even though no one really knew what that meant. Except Louis Swaggerwall, of course. Back then, the girl sitting next to you wouldn't even look at you because you weren't a jacked and tanned upperclassman. I miss those beautiful freshman days. And then the sophomore slump, with the now retired Chuck Potashnik, the man, the myth, the legend, who explained to us how to make $10 million by age 35. Well, Chuck, I'm currently employed at Steak and Shake, so I think I'm well on my way. Sophomore year also contained the infamous food fight. I still think that, to this day, there are mashed potatoes stuck up on that ceiling. Sources tell me that the student who started that is actually graduating this year, but we won't go there. Then came the junior year, the year that mattered. The ACT, the SAT, your grades count, and no hoodies. That year went by faster than Mangiarelli in a 100-meter dash. We had the first ever Sadie's dance, and it was a doozy. We had our first prom, and it was sensational and electrifying. Classes were rough, but we knew that finish line was in sight. The hardship and action of the junior year was the build-up to what was just around the corner, the senior year. Finally, the big man on campus, the big kahuna, a parking spot that wasn't a half-hour walk to the high school. We did what we wanted, so get out's the way. Of course, only if the vice principals approved of that. From getting hyphy during football games, to our last homecoming, to the band holding down the fort, to soccer games and basketball games, to the second winter dance, to dodgeball tourneys, to the lip sync contest, to impossible Dewberry projects, to college acceptance, to choir, to prom, to the senior prank that Mr. Paulfrone won't find out about for at least another month. To everything we did and said and experienced for the last time. Graduating from high school is a thrill and is the culmination of a massive challenge. But our journey does not stop here. Class, our journey has just begun. Although Forrest Gump hit the nail on the head when he compared life to a box of chocolates, I prefer a slightly different analogy. For me, life is like a kayak ride. You jump in your kayak and start floating down the river of life. Sometimes the wind will beat to your back, and life really will feel like it's all sunshine and roses. But at other times, the current will be against you. And it's then that you will face the trials of life. Many of you may be facing such a trial tonight, whether it's unemployment, a failed relationship, or the death of a loved one. It is at times like these that we must take out our paddles and persevere through the hardship. Perseverance, discipline, and attitude are the strokes necessary to steer through these rough rapids. And when the white water is so great that our plans in life capsize, that is when our life preserver keeps us afloat. I compare faith to such a life preserver. For me, my faith in Jesus Christ is what sustains me, because he does for me what I cannot do for myself. Through him, I have forgiveness, hope, and peace. A kayaker puts on the life jacket, for it is unwise to paddle without it. All of us will be kayaking down different streams, whether you travel on a lazy river or on a Class 5 rapid. Remember to paddle hard and wear your life preserver. It is impossible to predict what will happen in this life, but it is essential to be prepared for anything that lies ahead. In closing, I would like to inform the congregation. Hold up, let me fix my hat. I got a little something special for you. In closing, I would like to inform the congregation of the graduation celebration of the greatest class in the nation. On this special occasion, give yourselves a pat on the back. I'm shocked that you made it here too. Just don't have a cardiac. From back in the day when we thought we were the essence of everything that you could be in your adolescence. Freshman, sophomore, junior and senior years. No more student sections, no more cheers. No more detentions, no more tears. The past 4 years of high school, I think we lived the dream. Now grab your paddle and kayak and start paddling on your stream. Whether you become a doctor, a teacher, or a #1 rapper on the chart. Whether you go into the military or become a greeter at Walmart. You might get a job that makes you get your hands dirty. You might go long distances or stay in that 330. I'm sorry if I got a little wordy, but what I want to say is never forget your peers. Remember graduation day. So take a look around at your brothers and sisters again, because that's what we are. We're family. We're that class of 2010. Woo!
Senior choir members, please come forward.